Hey y'all, it's Jen and welcome to my channel Ifers Inklings. I just wanted to take a few minutes to talk a little bit about Charles Bukowski before we get into this poetry discussion. Now, I have 5 collections of Charles Bukowski here, and the poems that I discuss are going to come from these works. Some of Charles Bukowski's works, a lot of Charles Bukowski's works are vulgar and crass, full of profanities and vivid sexual content and details. And while some of the poems that I pick won't have those elements in them, there probably will be some that do. So if that is offensive to you in any way, shape, or form, please go ahead and click out of this video right now. I cannot guarantee that it will not contain any of those elements. Now, with that said, I hope you enjoy this poetry discussion on one of the works from Charles Bukowski. Hey y'all, it's Jen and welcome back to my channel Ifers Inklings. Today is a poetry discussion, and that is going to be a love poem for all the women I have known by Charles Bukowski. This is on page 79 of On Love, and I want to say that it's in one of the other collections as well. Yes, it is also in The Pleasures of the Damned, but it is just called A Love Poem in It, and it is page 418. This is the poem. All of the women, all of their kisses, the different ways they love and talk and need. Their ears, they all have ears, and throats and dresses and shoes and automobiles and ex-husbands. Mostly, the women are very warm, and they remind me of buttered toast with the butter melted in. There is a look in the eye. They have been taken, they have been fooled. I don't know quite what to do for them. I am a fair cook, a good listener, but I've never learned to dance. I was busy then with larger things. But I've enjoyed their different beds, smoking cigarettes, staring at the ceilings. I was neither vicious nor unfair, only a student. I know they all have these feet, and barefoot they go across the floor, as I watch their bashful buttocks in the dark. I know that they like me, some even love me, but I love very few. Some give me oranges and pills, others talk quietly of childhood and fathers and landscapes. Some are almost crazy, but none of them are without meaning. Some love well, others not so. The best at sex are not always the best in other ways. Each has limits as I have limits, and we learn each other quickly. All the women, all the women, all the bedrooms, the rugs, the photos, the curtains. It's something like a church, only at times there's laughter. Those ears, those arms, those elbows, those eyes looking the fondness, and the waiting. I have been held, I have been held. This poem to me talks a lot about loving different women. I mean, it's kind of straightforward, but it's kind of not at the same time. You know, all the women, they're all kind of the same, but they're all different as well. And each woman that he brings into his life, there's a different benefit to them. You know, some of them are good lovers, some of them really aren't. They're good in other ways. Some of them he's fallen in love with, but a lot of them he hasn't. But there's still something to learn from them, and there's still kindness there, and he's not just using them. You know, in the line, I was neither vicious nor unfair. You know, he gives all of what he can of himself to them. Some of them want more, some of them want love, but he can't always give that. He's appreciative of each and every one of them for whatever it is they do for him in his life. And he recognizes that each one of these women have held him. They've provided a need or fulfilled a need of his as well beyond just sex. And I think it's important to remember that sometimes that's the way things are, that not everybody you're going to be involved with is going to love you. But that doesn't necessarily mean you're not going to learn something from them, and that you're not going to have a benefit from them, and they're not going to fulfill a need for you and you for them, even if that need isn't love. But that doesn't make them or you a bad person. It doesn't make you unfair, or it doesn't make you, vicious, like he said. It just makes you human, and we all need different things from different people. And sometimes it's just a bed that you need. You just need to be held, whether that means something or not. And I think Bukowski does a good job at showing that in that poem. There's a little bit of loneliness I think you can get out of that poem, because he does talk about some of them that he's loved, and he does talk about some of them, that there are things that he hasn't learned to do because he was doing other things. It says, I was busy, I never learned to dance. I was busy then with larger things. But, is he really talking about dancing, or is he talking about something else? I mean, he's a good listener. He can cook, but, he can't dance. Is that really dancing what he's talking about? Or is it more that maybe he's never really learned how to love? Everybody we meet fulfills a need in our lives. It's either, everybody you meet's going to either be someone that's going to really be impactful in your life in one way or another. Either they're going to be there to stay, they're going to be there for a lifetime, or maybe they're just fulfill a lesson you need to learn. But that doesn't necessarily mean you can't enjoy what they offer, what they can offer, and what they are offering. Whether that's just their bed, or whether that's a meal, or a good listening ear, or, being held for just a little while. Because sometimes all of us need a little bit of human touch. So my favorite lines in this, I think that my favorite line in this is, there is a look in the eye. They have been taken. They have been fooled. I don't know quite what to do for them. And, at the end of it, he talks about having been held. And sometimes that's what you can do. Just listen to them and hold them. And sometimes that is what needs, sometimes that's what us women need. Sometimes we need more. Sometimes we don't. Sometimes we don't know what we need either. But I think that's a good representation of this poem here. Just looking at the rawness of it. He's reflecting back on all the women he's loved, and whatever way that means. Love there's a lot of different ways to love. Sometimes it's physical, sometimes it's with the heart, sometimes it is in other means. So that's it for my discussion on this poem, A Poem for All the Women I've Known by Charles Bukowski. Let me know what you thought of it down in the comments below, and let me know if I missed something, or if you got something different out of it than I did, or do, or whatever. And as always, if you've enjoyed this video, you know what to do. Like, subscribe, share, and go ahead and leave me a comment down below. And until next time, I'll see you later.